Namaskar, everyone. Today's lunch begins with this. Dun, tada, tada. This looks so good. You know what that is? Badam milk. I'm not a fan of sugar. But these days I've been craving sugar a lot. It's nice, na? How do you know? I know. And it's yellow because I added a little bit of turmeric. Indians cannot function without turmeric. You know what I was thinking when I was making this? That have you heard of that Sadhguru? Hmm? So I was listening to some of his stories. Actually, no, why I came here is um I remember someone saying ki, oh yeah, this is where it began from. You remember that picture? Chichore, that movie, Chichore movie. This is not no promotion. So I watched Chichore movie very recently, and I remember the last scene where the boy is almost like there's no assurance that he'll come out of the surgery alive, and his parents have been telling him a story, their life story, from the day that he went into almost like a coma like state, not really, but almost like, and it was the end, it was the just the final part of their story, and they had only 10 minutes for the surgery, and the doctor was trying to rush them. Look at that incredible thing. That's my children's lunch. Radha and Rama will have that for lunch. So in that last scene, the father says that my boy, before he goes to the surgery, he needs to know the whole story, because I've been trying to build his mindset based on that story. And the doctor says, have you lost your mind? I can't believe you. Like, your son has to go for an important brain surgery, and you stuck on a stupid story. And the wife comes in. She's never stood by her husband because they have some clashes going on. But she was watching him all along while the husband tells the story. And she says in front of the doctor, for the first time in years, she supports her husband's decision and choice and says that I believe him. Even if you don't, I believe him and I know what he's doing is correct and is needed for my son right now. Oh my god, just let me put this थालपीठ. एक तर जास्त झालं आहे आणि हे थालपीठ नाही झालंय. थालपीठाचा पप्पा झालाय हा. आणि अरे संपलं पिल्लू? They're done already. Mama, you done? Want more? No more. We're done. That's enough. That's all you get. Wait. Can I show you? Yeah, this is how you spread it. This is a lot of batter. You never pour so much batter at once, because then you won't know if it will actually cook well. But I know it will cook well because I'm going to put it on a slow flame, and I don't have so much time to keep waiting here. Also, my badam milk is waiting for me. And I also have some utensils to do now. I mean, wash now. Da-da-da. Yeah, so he tells about that story, and I was just thinking about it and saying that to myself that actually humans function. I was thinking that actually humans function on stories. We all link ourselves, connect some thought processes to some kind of stories that we have somewhere heard or thought of or felt or believed or whatever. And then I came to this thought ki this guy Sadhguru is trying to tell people something, and because he's not able to help them understand the perspective, he has to walk them through stories. Then people understand. Once you tell them a story, they'll understand what unity means, what basic morals means. So every story, no, 80% of his stories are about Sundaran Pillai. And when I was a kid, uh, 85% of my father's stories were about something happening in Shirke colony. Okay, so there is a colony where I stay close by, and it was called Shirke colony because the guy who built it was Shirke, and he named it after himself. So it was Shirke Colony. So anything that would happen would be in Shirke Colony. Someday, let's say I want to I want to learn cycling on a hill. I told my father that I want to go cycling on a hill. He said, "What if you need a headgear, you need knee pads and all that? What if you hit your head and what will happen? And not going to hold you. Will you be able to handle yourself? Blah 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 blah." I said, "Okay, I'll handle myself," because I really wanted to go. So I said, I'll handle myself. You just take me there. Just take me there. And he began telling me a story of stupid story of some guy from Shirke Colony that he went hiking on a bike and something crazy happened and he stumbled and he fell and so good. Oh my god, so good. And he stumbled and fell. And I was so much into that story, you know. I thought, oh my god, what if I'll not be able to handle myself? I'm going to break my head. And then if I don't die, I'll have to live with that broken head. So I used to get scared of those things and I'd back off many times. And this is just one story. Every time he would do the same thing. At some point of time, I got really annoyed with this Shirke colony. So I told him, if you want to talk to me, you talk to me without using that word Shirke colony, okay? He said, you know that colony over there? But he wouldn't stop talking about those stories. And I don't know, fortunately or unfortunately, we do make friends in colony, right? The nearby colonies, neighborhoods. We do roam around and do such things. But I never, I stayed there almost 20 years, more than 20 years of my life. And I've never had a friend who was from Shirke Colony. So I could never verify any of his stories, any of those stories. I guess I'll have to make peace with it now. My father no more talks about Shirke Colony. He's just tired of his daughters not listening to him now. He's given up. Go do whatever hell you want. Just don't bother me. So he's come to that point now because we are grown ups. But that Shirke Colony and that Sundaran Pillai, I will never forget. I will never forget. I don't know why. That is the similarity I see between fathers or people of those generations. Sundaran Pillai. I'll never forget. At one point, I was listening to that story and I was about that Sadhguru was telling, and I was the moment he started Sundaran Pillai, oh, why Sundaran Pillai? Why does everything happen to Sundaran Pillai? Why? And I was talking as if he's going to listen to me. Anyways, so I enjoy stories, you know. I have always enjoyed stories as a kid. I even write stories. That is how much I am into stories. And I believe, no, I have seen it that our lives very much revolve around the stories that we've heard in our childhood. That we have thought that this is how life goes. We build a perspective basically based on a story that we've heard, and we really connect with those emotions in the story. If we do, we really build our perspective around that story itself, and it changes us, it transforms us into whatever kind of person we are right now, into whatever we would become tomorrow. So whatever stories you're telling your children right now, or whatever honest experiences also, if you're telling your children right now, they're going to shape your children's perspectives later in their lives. So when you tell them, make sure you give them as many perspectives as you can. Make sure you tell them about so many different morals and values that you could pick up from one single story. Not just give them one perspective. So if you talk about, for example, that story of the sticks, you break them, you can't break them together, you break them single individually. That story talks about unity, but there are many more perspectives that you can look at, right? That the father was trying to hold them together, that the father was trying to tell them that I'm not going to be here again later or long enough, and that I need you to be taking care of each other's because all you've got is each other. So all these things, many perspectives could be there, right? Even the smallest of perspective needs to be told because they're children. Na? They'll believe everything you speak about. So do that. Do that. because it does shape your children. Look at me, Sundaran Pillai, Shirke Colony. The stories my mother used to tell me, most of them were from books, Panchatantra, um, Ali Baba, and all those stories. And I would love those forest stories. I would love where characters are personified, where they are not really humans, but they have given human qualities to them, like trees talking or animals speaking in human voice. I loved, and she knew that. Even my father knew that, but he would be stuck on Shirke Colony. I hope my father watches this. Yeah. And he did not tell many of these stories to my sister, because my sister wouldn't give a damn. She'd be like, okay, let them die. I don't care. I used to care. Oh, that happened to him. Oh, he fell off. Oh, he got stuck. Oh, he got lost. That feels like dumb shit now. But if you really think about it, it just talks about how innocent you've been, how beautiful children are when they're young, and you want them to grow up and behave professionally and act like they're skilled and they've already completed their doctorate and stuff like that. But when they actually would have done that, you wouldn't enjoy it. It wouldn't fill your heart up. Your heart will be filled up with joy with these memories, these stupid memories that you think are dumb. They are not dumb. They're full of love. They're full of innocence. They're full of curiosity. They're trying to learn. They're trying to grow. Even if you have such things in yourself, admire it because it is admirable. It's not something stupid. I really think that we must be careful about, be watchful about, thoughtful about what we tell our children, what stories we tell them, for how long, what kind of morals we are attaching them, and if we are leaving them any space to think about it. Not everything should be figured out by the parents, right? You should give them some space to figure it out and you should get back to it. Keep it in loop. Not that you told them a story, you asked them to find out a moral, you asked them to find out a perspective about it, and then you forgot about it. No, you can't forget about it. No? You want to create a bond with your child, you want to understand your child, you want to help him grow because you can't really imbibe anything. He'll simply watch his surroundings, um, take it according to whatever he's experienced when he was in his mother's womb or when he was growing up, when you thought that he doesn't understand. That is the time when he has taken up, grasped up most of the emotions and understanding. So, according to that, he will try to build something. You just have to create an environment that's conducive. You just have to create an environment that is accepting of all these questions. And you should have answers to all these. If you don't have answers, be honest with your child and try to explore the answer with them. I've not seen myself tell children that, um, because a lot of children have asked me a lot of questions. I like being around children a lot. I love that. So a lot of children ask me a lot of weird questions, and I've not always had answers to them. So we've gone out exploring it by ourselves. Sometimes we've used digital media for answers. I won't suggest that, I wouldn't recommend, but yeah, we've done that. And the children enjoy. But that's parents, I've never seen their parents be happy about it. They're like, why are you putting yourself down in front of the children? You should be standing up tall and you should be telling that I know everything and you should be listening to me and you should make them obey. I don't like children obeying to their elders with everything. They must be disciplined, they must be understanding, they must know the consequences of whatever actions they do. They should be able to think of the consequences, but you shouldn't make them obey to everything. It's just going to create mama's boy or girls who do not have decision making power and then suffer, and then later in their life, they'll take extreme decisions. Um, Whatever decisions. Don't do that. No? Give them the confidence, give them the clarity, give them the ability, the scope, the space. They'll rock it. They'll rock it like I did, hopefully. I don't know. Panchatantra, Sundaran Pillai, and Shirke Colony. Bye bye.